Hi guys, we're going to go over the vocabulary for chapter 12 and I just have to apologize in advance because I've got somebody here with me who's a little bit unhappy and you're going to be hearing some noises, so sorry about that. Okay, so let's look at vocabulary chapter 12 in the workbook, and hopefully you did this homework already. Let's go out ahead to the next page. All right, I want to say a word about the homework and the notebook checks that I would like to start doing pretty soon. You can do the homework either in your workbook, or in your notebook, up to you. But I would like to start doing notebook checks. I will check a few each day once we start doing this. And over time, I'll get to everyone. Generally, I'll just say, who would like to show me your notebook today? And usually one or two people will. And over time, we'll get to everyone. This allows you to show me that you're keeping up with the homework, to get credit for doing so. And it also helps me to know how each student is doing and who might need some support. Okay, why you do homework. So I'm just going to say my little spiel. This is my pitch about why it's important to do the homework. Doing homework helps you. It will advance your learning and help you cement the things you learn. All forms of active engagement in the material will support your learning, especially when some effort is involved. So if you're just being passive and, watching the videos, that's great. But not doing the homework, it's not really the same. Doing the homework, you're actively engaged, you're thinking about the questions, the problems, the work in a different way when you're actually trying to answer things. So by trying to answer questions or solve a problem, you are taking a risk, perhaps making some mistakes, and that means you have more at stake in the material. If you try, make a few mistakes, and then have the opportunity to correct your mistakes, you will learn a lot more. You're college students, and I want to encourage you to be proactive about adopting practices that will help you to be successful. So, excuse me. So, it's about being proactive. It's about adopting good practices. It's about making the effort and, to be aware that it's good to try and make mistakes. It's only homework. I'm not going to penalize you for making mistakes on the homework. I just want you to attempt it, and then we'll go over it and you can fix your mistakes. And really think about the fact that when you have something at stake, you learn more, you remember, right? Okay, so on to the vocab. All right, so hopefully you did this homework and you are checking your work while we go through this. So it's chapter 12, pages 68 to 70, and please correct any mistakes before taking the quiz. Okay, so artificial. Artificial flowers made of paper or silk last for years. Artificial means made by humans or manufactured, right? Complicate. Don't complicate the game with too many rules. Complicate means to make difficult. Conscience. After borrowing the car without permission, Lena's conscience bothered her so much that she couldn't enjoy it. Conscience means moral sense. Counsel. The teacher counseled us to read more books about things we like in order to build our vocabulary. Counsel means to suggest to. Detect. If you detect a gas leak, leave the house immediately and call for help. Detect means to notice. Frequency. We used to play soccer twice a week, but in the winter, the frequency of our playing goes down. Frequency means rate, how often something happens. I also want to say a word about parts of speech. So, conscience is a noun. A noun is generally a person, place, or thing, but it can also be a state of being, an emotion, an abstract concept, right? Counsel and detect are verbs. To counsel, to detect, right? You could put them in the past tense. They counseled us to do something. we detected something, right? Or it can be in the future. Tomorrow I might detect something. Tomorrow you might counsel somebody to do something, right? And then frequency is an adjective. No, that's a noun. It's a noun. It's an abstract concept, right? The frequency of something. Okay, let's keep going. Represent. Tamika will represent her class at the student council meetings. Represent means to speak for. Temporary. Mimi used a temporary green hair dye just for St. Patrick's Day. Temporary means short term. Transparent. Transparent wrap allows you to see what's inside a container. Transparent means able to be seen through. Triumph. My brother's good doctors, his helpful parents, and his own hard work all led to his triumph over a serious injury. Triumph means win. So transparent is an adjective because it's a describing word, and triumph is a noun because it's like a state of being, um, or sort of like an abstract concept, right? Okay. Matching words with definitions. Allowing light, number one, allowing light to pass through so that objects on the other side can be seen. Did you choose the word transparent? That's the answer. Number two, to give advice or guidance to. Advise. Did you choose the word counsel? That's the answer for that one. The rate at which, number three, the rate at which something occurs, how often something happens. Did you choose the word frequency? Number four, to notice, to discover that something occurs, how often something happens. That's frequency, so that's a mistake. To notice, to discover that something occurs means to detect, so please disregard the third part of that. Detect. 5, an outstanding or very satisfying success or victory, that would be triumph. 6, a sense of what is right or wrong in one's behavior, conscience. 7, to act or speak for, represent. 8, to make difficult by adding or involving many parts or details, to make complex, complicate. 9, lasting or serving for a limited time only, not permanent, temporary. So I put a picture of somebody who put duct tape on a crack on their windshield. Hopefully that's temporary, right? Or like the cherry blossoms, that's something that only lasts a very short period of time, right? Number 10, made to imitate something natural, artificial. All right, and then the sentence check. I'm not checking every single one. This is more of a spot check. Number 1, if you something a job, you make it harder to do, complicate. Number 2, the something of our club's newsletter is about once a month, frequency. Number 4, that horror movie must have used gallons of blank blood, artificial. Number 6, although Nora has lived in New York for years, I can still something, a slight southern accent in her voice, detect. Number 9, substitute teachers get something job assignments, often for only a day or two at a time, temporary. Number 10, a cruel person must not have much of a something, conscience. Okay, so that's it. Really sorry about the background noise. Whenever you're ready to take the quiz, it's called Chapter 12 Vocabulary. When you log into the quizzes and tests, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page. The new quiz will always be at the bottom. And there's always an announcement for each quiz too, so that's another way to access quizzes. All right, guys, thanks a lot. See you soon.